If we're both Ultra Magnus, who am I really? A mere copy in a multiverse of magnitudes? Maybe we exist to question our own existence, a paradox of spark and steel. And if purpose eludes us, what drives our endless battles? Perhaps it's hope, however faint, that meaning will someday find us. Hi everyone, this is Triple T, and today I'm taking a look at X-Transbots Master Series City Commander Stack. Probably from the voice actor Robert Stack that made his voice in the movie. But I call him Ultra Magnus. First of all, he comes with this little nice card here, with his little bio. To get that out of the way, he comes with a fairly good manual. I really like this. This is the size X-Transbots should do all the time, because I was actually able to follow this. And that's a first for them. So, yay for this. I'm going to move him to the side. And we're going to focus on the box. And as you can see, there's a nice illustration here of City Commander Stack. Really, really nice. They do know how to do an illustration. And thirst for victory leads to defeat. Not tiring of defeat leads to victory. That's an epic sentence if I ever heard one. And here is their cup and, well, so on. And you have a little bio if you want to read it. And a tech spec, and I do love me some tech specs. Unfortunately, you don't really get a decoder with X-Transbots for some reason. So I can't really use that. But still. Yes, I know I see the blue. I'm just making a point. He comes with a plethora of extra faces. First of all, he comes with two with goatee, like that. One smiling and one stern, normal face. These aren't for me, but they are easily applicable on the head. And the eyes are bigger on these ones, I think, as well. Maybe they are more IDW, perhaps. Then we have those without goatee, and this is the constipated one, and this is the kissing one, or whistling and screaming. Yeah. And this is the perplexed one.
What? What's happening? I don't know anymore.
And due to the fact that he has a light up feature, he comes with two different transparent eyes for those different goatee and with goatee. Without goatee and with goatee. Oh. He comes with his shooter, and this coloration is so beautiful. It's out of this world good looking. It's a bit on the smallish side for him. I wish he had a bigger gun, but it is what it is, and it looks epic. Really, really epic. You have sprue marks here, but they are on the bottom side, so who cares? It just looks good. Now, here is Commander Stack. He looks really epic. And before you start commenting about this being too big, I know I just went berserk and put that there. And since this is a painted surface, I will not be removing it. So, yeah, that's it for now. And as you probably know by now, most of my faithful followers knows that I have a troubled past with X-Transbots. So when I got this, I was very, very hesitant at first to actually like him. But I can tell you that he is from the era... He's a reissue, so he's from the era when X-Transbots actually were really, really good and delivered beautiful looking bots with hellish transformations. But in my mind, this transformation isn't that horrible, especially when you actually learn how to do it properly. It's still not easy, and it still takes a long time, but still. Now, let's get up close and personal with him. Look at that head. such a good head. He has a nice chest with some detailing here. These nice looking missiles. You can actually pop them off if you want to. No, okay. That one's glued in there probably. But this one you can remove. I tried. These keep plopping off, but you can just glue them back on. There is no difficulty with that. We come to his little groin there. Looks good. This piece is better attached this time around. And you have some nice big hefty underarms there. Nice thighs. They are painted, so I'm just waiting for them to paint scratch. But, well, let's see. And you have some nice legs here, nice feet. This is a bit dirty due to the QC sticker that was there. It's quite hefty, I can tell you. These parts are a bit too big, in my humble opinion, but they are on most, so it doesn't really matter. And here you have the back of his legs, and he is really clean everywhere. There is no kibble at all. And you have a little voice box here. If you have batteries, you can press there, and an actor sounding like Robert Stack will do voice clips for Ultra Magnus. It's quite cool. I don't have the batteries, and I haven't been able to get hold of them. So, unfortunately, I can't show that off. And neither can I show the light up feature in the head. But there is a little button back here that you can press twice in succession, and they will light up if you have the transparent eyes installed. Now, for articulation. The head swivels very easily around, can go up a bit, down a bit, tilt a bit, as you can see. Not much, but enough, I think. The arms can do a 360, and I know that people had difficulty with this unscrewing itself. In this reissue, that has been fixed, so it works perfectly. This can be angled up or down or rotated and put however you want. You can go out to the side with the arms, and then you can go the rest of the way on a separate hinge, which is kind of cool. It looks a bit deformed, but it works. You have a bicep swivel. You have a double jointed, let's see if I can show this, elbow, but the joint in there is hidden, so you need to force this forward by bending it upwards, and you get a very nice range of movement on the elbow there. Then you have to put it back. The hands are really nicely done. For once, these pegs aren't thin as, well, I don't know what. And you can splay out the fingers. And the thumb is on 1, 2, 3 pegs. Or 1 ball joint and 2 pins. And you have 1 pin, 2 pin, 3 pin, and splaying screw on each finger. So they are very, very nice. Like the KFC hands from the time. And I like that every finger is different in length, because that's realism to me. You can rotate the hands a bit, but due to Magnus's sculpt, I mean, this is how he's supposed to look, the hands just go for a bit and not all the way around. All the way around. My bad. They do go all the way around. Very nice, Magnus. Now we come to the waist, and he, of course, can rotate. You have X-Transbots. You have a nicely ratcheted ab crunch here. You can go really, really long. But as you saw, things start to untab themselves when you do. And you can fold these up. These are on little pegs now, rather than pins. So they are actually in there quite better. He can, of course, kick forward like that, fairly high backwards. And on, oh my lord, he can he can actually do the Motor Master splits. Doink. And he does hold that very nicely. It won't fall down even if you shake him. So everything is toleranced fairly well. You have a double jointed knee here, but activating it is kind of difficult. So you have to do that several times. You can activate this piece and that piece, so you get the full range. Well done. Clickety click. The feet only tilt in. You can untab most of them, so you can rotate this around. This is a very suspicious looking hinge here that actually folds this around, so I'm not sure if this will last or not, but as is now, it's very, very good and interesting, to be quite honest. So far, I was just going to say that they have redeemed themselves, and I was going to straighten him up, and the waist just went untransformed. But still, I like this one. I used to give X-Transbots a lot of gripe because their quality was so subpar, and if you make an exception for small tabs like that, and that everything here is just hinged on a little piece, this is a perfect bot. Yes, I will be getting to the transformation and show you why I don't think it's a hellish transformation like their cup, for instance, because this is actually simple if you do it step by step in the right order. I will be putting up a separate video just for the transformation if you are interested in that as well. Of course, you can change out his faces. You just pull his helmet off and then get the head out. And you can put on the kissing helmet, for instance, or even better, let's put on a goatee with him smiling. Like that. Forget about me. The shuttle takes priority. The peace conference depends on it. It's from the first episode in season 3. And of course, you can take the eyes away to put in the translucent ones if you are having those batteries installed, which I don't. So I'm going to reinstall these blue metal things and just put this face back on. And of course, he comes with his gun, as we have looked at before, and he just holds that perfectly in his hands. So now he can shoot Decepticons to his heart's content. I just wish he shot 6-shot a bit more in the Headmaster series, so he didn't die from his attack. But still, it is what it is. And he was killed off because the toy was discontinued. Now for comparison. This is Toy House knockoff of the Takara Tomy masterpiece of Ultra Magnus. And it's the same size, it's just a bit updated, whatever you want to call it. And as you can see, he is taller than X-Transbots, and you can actually see through his chest here to the matrix. And he is a bit beefier in the arms and the feet, and even the thighs are bigger. And I have to say, I do like this rendition so much more than this one. And if we turn them to the side, we can see that this is quite beefy as well. And we can see a huge backpack here where he has none. And again, the huge backpack, if you want it like the Takara one, I can fold this down, because this piece was down for the Takara one, like that. But so we can actually see what we are talking about. Let's fold that up. And these exist on him as well, but they are inside the legs. So this is much more clean than this is. And of course, this doesn't have this little voice box. And these are tucked in under there. And there are hollowness here, but not here. So I have to say that I like this one much more. Well, much more. That not saying... I'm not saying this is a bad figure in any way. He's really good. He's been my Ultra Magnus placeholder for quite some time. You've probably seen my review of him. I'm really happy with him. He has his rough transformations as well, but not at the same level as him. Yeah. I still don't think he's horrible transforming him, but still. But there you have him with the Takara Toy House knockoff version of him. Yep. Now let's bring in some other Season 3 tunes. And I'm going to bring in X-Transbots Cup, because we all know I love him. And, of course, there's Springer. And they look good together, I think. I only have the knockoff RC, Takara RC, so I'll put her there. But this looks like a merry bunch, don't you agree? So I'm really happy. He was a nightmare transformation. He wasn't really, but it was too complex for what you actually turned him into. And if you look at these two, you can see that I've become better at putting these on. These aren't straight, but this is. Yay! Very nice indeed. And I think the scale is very good. I think she's a bit too short, because I would like her to be a bit taller, at least on par with Cup. But the robot mode just blows my mind because it looks so good. It works in every way. It's just the little ab crunch that's bothering me. And if you shake him, you can see that the head moves and the upper part of the body moves as well. And that's just, in my eye, just typically X-Transbots, unfortunately. But otherwise, it looks so good. Now, I'm going to show you a transformation that maybe isn't by the book, just because I think it's going to be smoother for everyone. So let's start. Turn him around, open that up, and this little piece here, if you press the back of it, you actually release a tab inside. And before I knew this, I was really struggling, but now I know. And knowing is half the battle. Open this up, fold this out, fold this out as well. And now it's starting to look scary because everything is on hinges and stuff like that. And this is, yeah. But don't worry, everything will be just fine. I hope. Okay, this piece goes a bit inwards because it's going to tab in right here. So, piece that in like so. When you actually rotate, fold the foot up as well because it's going to tab in like that. Sorry, I forgot to show that. When you actually rotate this down, this is going to automorph outwards. So, open this up, get this loose as well, like that. And now we can actually just do this piece here. Fold this up and continue this until it automorphs and these wheels are underneath this edge, and they are, trust me. Come to the inside, fold this out and fold that down. Hinge this backwards as far as you can and fold that in for now. You can fold this up and tab it in if you want to. It just gives you a bit of less mess to deal with, like that. When we come this far, there are two tabs, one here and one there. That one goes in there and the other one goes in there. And in my humble opinion, it is way better to do it with the one up here first. So tab that in. First. And when you've done that, find the tab down here and everything just secures. And that's not one leg done, but for now, that's one leg done. Oh, got that one as well. Fold that up. And that's one leg done. I'm going to fold these down just so they don't flop around. Unhinge the crotch. Like so. And now we'll focus on the arms. I start by extending this little elbow joint, and then I'm gonna pull it all the way down, because this piece, as you can see, this lets us know that I haven't pulled it down enough. But now I have. Good for me. Open this up. Fold this panel down so you don't see the hands. And as long as you have made them into a fist, everything works. So just close that up. Turn them around. And now we come to this piece. You have to bend some plastic here, unfortunately. Hold the front piece, pull the front piece forward and this out. So it looks like that. Open this up. Fold. Oh. Fold the arm upwards like that. Tab that into there. Push this little holder piece in. And to do that, you have to pull the arms out. Now you can push it all the way in, like so. Again, you need to flex some plastic because you need that on the inside. And that's one arm done. Now we come to his midsection. And first you need to hinge that off, because these tabs are on the back of this breastplate. Now we have even more. You have to unhinge, and that's quite scary. But first we come to the back and we untab these. These hold the arms in place, and that's why we're doing this in this order, because we're going to fix everything at the bottom first, so we can just stand. Sorry, that way. And we can just fold those forwards. Now we need this little red piece. As you can see, this waist piece just comes down, but you have another one just on top of it, and you need to pull like that. I'm sorry for the extra sound from the arms, but what you're gonna do. And when you've gotten that loose, you fold that upwards, and that tab is going into this little port. And this can at first be very frustrating to get in, but when you have everything angled correctly, it actually just goes in as it should, like that. Now you don't have to care about that anymore, thankfully. Because if that jumps out, we can just put it back in later on. Take these edges, just fold them forward, loosen the arms, and hinge them upwards, like so. And now we are going to tab all of this together. And there is a tab up here and a tab there, and you're going to use the gun for some extra tabbage. You have a port there and a peg there, and they go in. You have the peg there and the port there for that. So just put that in. Rotate everything so it's fairly straight, and then just tab everything in. I say just, but you know what I mean. Like that. Nice. Now we can lay him down, and this thing came out, of course it did. Now we lay him down like that, and you can actually tab these in. Be careful with these tabs, because they hold on for dear life, and they don't actually, well, they break easily, just like that. And before you tab the other one in, we have to come to the underside here. First we're going to straight everything out, of course, but then you have a little F tab here, this little effing tab, and you're gonna close that up together like so, and then we tab everything else in. So now everything looks really nice, as it should, and then we just push this in. And again, be careful when you use those because they are really difficult. Now you can just fold that down. And now he is actually standing on his own, and you can continue with the difficult tab transformation at your own leisure. You come to the shoulders, and there are hinges that you need to fold up. And now we're going to extend everything. And this is where everything usually falls apart. But since you have everything the way you want it, hopefully, you can just start by pulling this up. And if it's, yeah, I guessed as much. Hinge that up. Wait with the smokestacks because they are not sturdy enough to hold anything, so they will just... This is the only weak point really on this bot. This hinge is going to extend out on 1, 2, 3, 4 pins, I think. So undo all of those. And that is how you want that looking. And now we just fold these out. Just, but still. Now he's going to be so tall, I don't know if I can show this when he's standing anymore. You rotate these out on both sides. Like so. You fold this up all the way. You can pre-fold the wheels out. We're not going to use them yet, but since I will be putting him like that. Now, these hinges are actually going to go on to these, which means that you're going to angle a couple of things here. So you need to be mindful of both of them at the same time. Like so. Here you have a little peg that needs to be in here, so you can angle this afterwards. You know, X-Transbots plastic folding, like so. And you do that on both sides. Oh, this was already in. Good. Good. Now this came out. Push that back in. You need to hear a little tab in sound. Mine doesn't want to do that now. Did just seconds ago. Anyway, now we need to focus on this. And it looks horrible, I know, but it's not when you get, used to it. You fold out the sides, you scooch this backwards and outwards like that, fold this up, and this is going to fold in on itself, and you have some tabs here and a tab there, so line them up, like so. Come to this red piece and fold that inwards, and then fold it up, and it will tab in there. So fold this in and then rotate that back. I'm going to show you that again. Rotate this up and rotate this little piece inwards. So it tabs in like that. Now we have a lot of pegs and tabs and stuff like that, so we need to do them on at the same time. But I'm going to leave them for now, because we're gonna come to the front here and we're gonna unfold that, hinge that upwards. At the same time, we hinge this back of the cab backwards, and we rotate that to the correct place, and we put that in. So the front, yeah, the front looks somewhat okay. And before we start tabbing things in, we need to rotate these so they actually come before the wheel, like so. I don't really know which way you're supposed to do that, but I do it like that. Okay. Inside you need to fold this out, and this as well, form the front of the cab section. Tab that in there. Like that. Now you can fold the doors back if you want to, or wait with them. It's up to you. Now we come to the top of the cab, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 puzzle piece looking tabs. Start with this one in the middle, because otherwise you'll probably break that tab. You push that inwards as far as you're able until you hear that little click. You push the middle down, because they are going to go under and these puzzle pieces are going to go over. Now we close the doors, and now we're actually on the home stretch. And I know, finally, right? You are supposed to bend some plastic again. These sides are going over these red pieces here, and there aren't really space for it, but it's an X-Transbot transformation. What are you going to do? Now. I think this will be better to show you. Now we're going to take the wheels and we're going to scooch them up like that. And there's a tab here. No, there's a port here and a tab there. And they're supposed to go on like that. Like that. Very good. Very good. Now, when you fold this in, see to it that it actually passes every little thing it should, because when it does, you just have one tab there and one port there, and then the cabin is done. But you have to angle this as far up as you can, so it's actually pushing the cab section towards these. Before we do anything more with these, we fold out these smokestacks, and you push them outwards, and you somewhat, because it doesn't really work, somewhat plug them in on top. Get out of the way. As you can see, they don't really stay where they should until they actually are in place, or this is in place. Ah, I forgot. You have to fold these out as well, because they help hold everything together. So do that on both sides. Now we come to the sides, and this is the last thing we will do that is fairly difficult. So fold these up, fold that little triangle in, it's just a filler piece, and fold these up. These pieces just go on the outside and tab in. That tab is going to that port. So finding that can be really difficult, like that. And this is how you want things looking. Now, this piece needs to come out, and you need to angle it upwards. If you want to, you can just take one side out and get a tool, because it needs to be up like that when you actually hinge it out. But when you've done that, this is how you want that looking. Now we come to these, fold that in, and this piece is going under this little hinge here, and this piece tabs into there. So firstly, push this up and under. And of course, everything just untabs. It's X-Transbots, so but I mean, it's still better than most things they've done, so I'm not complaining. That needs to be under there, and then tab this side in, like that, and that holds that into place. And do the same thing with the other side. We bring these forward again, and now you have, we have to push this back up. This is going to angle as far up as it can to reveal tabs here, so we can actually tab this in. And if you are unable to tab it in, it just means you need to scooch it more back. And you push this forward, and there is a tab here for it. If you don't succeed, try again. It can be quite difficult to actually find that little side tab. Now we have some finishing touches. We pull those down. We rotate this around both sides. And of course, we need to open, or fold out rather, the side view mirrors here. Let's see, I think we're done. Yes, we are. We are actually done, people. And he rolls nicely. This I can never get to fully peg in on this side. If we look at the other side, it's way better, but this smokestack. This is the only complaint I really have. It's this section. Everything else is just epic with him. But we can take a closer look. Nice grill there. I know I need to press that in, but I don't want to. Yeah. Really nice. And yes, I've already put those on. And it's a very, very clean mode. And of course, you can fold these down and just roll a masterpiece car on there. It's doable without any problem whatsoever. So just go ahead and play if you want to. You can untab these and fold them down so something can stand up here as well. But yeah. These smokestacks are really, really, really not nice. This is what he looks like from above. Fairly nice, right? And this is what he looks like from beneath. And yes, you can turn him a bit. If you've done the transformation correctly. I have, but for some reason it just doesn't work right now. But you are supposed to be able to hinge these around so he actually turns. I did turn him all the way around, 360, on my living room floor, so it is doable. It is perfectly doable. But he looks very good, and most wheels just touch the ground and roll nicely. But for comparison, here he is with MPP10, and yes, he is a bit smaller, as we all can see, but I still think they look kind of nice. And you can't put this on, well you can, but that just looks silly. But this looks like two trucks going for a stroll or a drive or whatever you call it. And of course you can open the doors, and there are some seats in there. I forgot to show that off. We have to show that off, of course. Credit where credit's due. You have a little seat in there, steering wheel, and stuff like that. I think you can put some masterpiece people in here, but I haven't tried. If you want to, you can actually fold these forward, so you have it like the toy version of Ultra Magnus. It's perfectly doable. I just think it looks ugly, so I don't do that. Now, of course, he comes with that obligatory little feature. You fold this up, and you can open this up, and you actually have a matrix in here. It's all done in plastic, and it just broke on me. Yep. Thank you, X-Transbots. Thank you. Really, really nice. Not... Okay, I mended it actually, but I'm not sure I like this at all. It's very plastically flimsy and doesn't look that good and falls apart. So no, thank you. I will be putting some tape around this so it doesn't fall apart, and I will put it in a baggie. This was really shoddy work, like the Target Masters that came with Cup. They do such good bots, but then they do this. Close that up, and you're done. Now for my conclusion. I shouldn't do a conclusion after transforming X-Transbots back and forth, but what are you gonna do? That transformation is fiddly at best. I don't think it's as horrible as everyone says. If you do things methodically, you solve most problems, and it's rather good looking in both modes. I do, and this is going to be quite the shock to some people, I do think this looks better than Fans Toys Marge, because I'm not really fond of that robot with big armor. I think that Ultra Magnus is just one bot as is. The quality and QC issues are fairly good here, at least for being X-Transbots. He is a bit of a bubblehead that bubbles around when you move him, and it looks quite funny. But I've been transforming him a couple of times, and I've been quite manhandling, to be quite honest. And he still has no stress marks or broken pieces or paint chippage, and that's rare. I think that maybe Ron has the same deal, but otherwise this is the first X-Transbots that actually holds together and looks the same after a couple of transformations. Now, do I recommend this? I do. I recommend it if you like the look of it, because it's fairly good quality, and if you don't want a robot with armor on, this is the toy for you. Just be prepared for a lengthy, and I mean lengthy, transformation. But his masterpiece score is an 8. The only thing I don't really like is the back of the cabin section of the truck. Otherwise, I do really, really like him. He ticks all the boxes for me, so I have my Magnus, finally. And the Toy House one just goes to storage, or maybe even the bin. I don't really know yet, because I try to phase out all of my KOs. I don't have that many, but still, one is too many in my book. I want the original pieces, if I can get my hands on them, of course. So, if you don't mind lengthy and somewhat tiresome transformation, this is Ultra Magnus for you, because he looks amazing, and he really has lots of character in his face and his body, and a strong presence. The Matrix just sucks. Don't include this if you... Well, I've been rambling on for very long now, so I'm going to be quiet. I'm just gonna say, I guess that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care.